Hello, everyone, and welcome to AWBoy'Z episode 5. It's been a couple of months since the last episode, and we're starting to see how things are starting to shake out at Actwres Killer'Z. As we take a look forward, talk about the new direction and what it means for the company, we'll also take a look back at now Kakuta's tenure with AWG and discuss a recent cross-produced show. Today, I'm joined, as usual, by Chris Lee, who is at Cross, and we'll dive into that a bit later. Welcome, Chris.
Hello, guys. Good to be back with the boys.
Yeah. And we're also joined today by Jeff Brown, formerly of Monthly Pro Wrestling, now with Resura, right? Is that who you're with?
Yep, that's correct.
All right.
Hello.
Yep. Jeff is one of my favorite people to talk about AWG with. He knows so much of the history of the promotion, a lot about the early days as well. So I just want to thank you for joining us for this.
Oh, yeah, it's cool, man. Thanks for having me.
Can't think of a better duo to discuss the past, present, and future of Actwres Killer'Z. So let's get started. So recently, Actwres has kind of taken on a new storyline involving just kind of a split down the middle of the roster pretty much with heel and babyface dynamics. So we're going to dive deep into that. I don't want to dive into reviewing the shows because I don't think it's that important because we want to just kind of tell the story that they're going with.
Right.
And,
I mean, I have all my star ratings here.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. You need to with the Actwres Girls.
You know, my 6.5 star Great Asako match rating. I'll save it for later. That'd be my own thing.
Yeah.
Just know Great Asako 6.5 stars every time she comes out.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the stuff that's happened has been transitional. So a lot of things that are things in motion, things changing, a lot of storyline and stuff. So I feel like trying to dive in and doing like a review of like a regular wrestling show, like it was like a big Korakuen anniversary show or something, it's not going to do the show justice. We got to talk about like the little details and everything that's happening and what they're building towards. Yeah, so the first show of this era, the strong violence style era, as people are calling it. So the formation of the Actwres Killer'Z. Right now we have a split pretty much right down the middle of the roster. We have the Hero Army, which is led by Marino Saihara, and members are me, Naru, Natsuki, Nagisa Shizuki, Sakura Mizushima, Kanamiku, Riko Fukunaga, Chi Aoba, Nanami Togi, and Yui Tenshoku. So those are the faces, the baby faces, the Hero Army, and Maru does indeed call them babies as an insult, which is a fun thing. And then you have the Killers, who are there to disrupt everything. So during a love riddle, they attacked the baby faces and just caused chaos ever since their existence became known. So that's a faction of Act, Maru, Mari, Yufa, Ayano Irie, Nene Arahata, Kyoka Iwai, Kiraan, Great Asako, and Haruka Ishikawa. Hinata Senya was invited on the last show and appears to have accepted that invite. And Mizuka Arai, the ring announcer, has also said that she is part of the Actwres Killer'Z. So very interesting combinations of people, and we got a heel ring announcer involved. We're breaking new territory here.
Yep, this was the true vision of that NWO takeover of Nitro that I think we're finally realizing.
This is way better, and Mari's even doing the Razor's Edge and stuff. So we're
she's in it.
Yep,
Picks are next.
They also took over the ref job too, which that's some old school heel stuff.
Yep.
Which I'm not sure Maru had a referee's license, but maybe that'll be brought up later. So maybe that's not official.
He's been around so long, she probably can do everything,
Yep.
I want to say this though, just the fact that Mari said, "I'm evil now," and then she went ahead and decided to do her makeup like the grumpiest cat on the planet, the palace cat, is a move I applaud greatly. Because literally she said grumpy cat equal evil, and I'm like, yes, Marion,
Absolutely.
you're right.
Very. I love the new looks for a lot of the people, especially like Yufa and Mari, especially. Very, very good stuff. And again, look, I think the last time we talked, Marino may have still been a squirrel, or was like not being a squirrel. Now she's got the superhero gear, and she's really stepped into that role too. Really, just really cool stuff. And yeah, there are some talent that haven't picked the side yet because they just haven't been around when it comes to Bulldozer Todoroki. I wonder what side she'll be on. But also, you never know. Things have been kind of strange and unpredictable. And that's
right. And this, you said a roster split in half, but we have members literally split in half with Ayano, who is technically an actress killer, but says that she will be on the baby team if it's me, showing her never-ending loyalty to me.
Yep. It was like last thing on my list was talking about that split of twin stars, but it's not really a split because they are still together, still a team, and they may have gone different ways. They had the talk at the end of their match recently where they talked about the different paths they could take, and they decided to kind of put the tag team on hold, but to always be friends and always respect each other and respect the decisions to go in opposite directions, where me would always be the baby face and Ayano would explore that new trajectory as a heel, which she's been doing since joining Beast Rebellion.
I think that could also lead to a wonderful moment of betrayal at some point that will break all of our hearts.
Absolutely. And like overall, there has been a big emphasis on the tag teams. So it's been, they were starting the tournament when they had everyone, a bunch of people leave. And now, all right, now they got to figure out what they're going to do with that. And we weren't even sure if it was going to ever continue again. And it seems like they do have a lot of tag teams now. Half of them seem to involve Kyoko Iwai. So it's going to be a very interesting run here if they ever do get this tournament back in motion. And
tag team specialist Kyoko Iwai was not a thing I saw happening in our lifetime, but here we are.
But she's good at it. She's definitely great when she's teaming with someone and can play off play off them pretty well. And so we have Act and Mari as a team. Probably I would say the top ranking team in the promotion now.
Yes.
With Amaterasu. And then you have Twin Stars, me and Ayano, who again are, I guess the team is kind of on hiatus. That's what that, post-match promo was about. They went their separate ways, but they are still a team, if that makes any sense. They're going to focus on what they're doing, but when the time comes for them to challenge for whatever they need to do, they will be back together. So, and they're a pretty big team. They date back to the Colors and Beginning days.
That's right. This is a throwback to Generation 2, I'll say, of Actress Girls.
Yep. 3? I think it's the third one.
Maybe third.
Like borderline third.
Borderline, because I think Generation 2 is actually relatively short.
Yeah.
It was definitely old system back when they were pro wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like how we are Generation 5 possibly, but Generation 2 of act wrestling.
Yes. It's follow along, everyone.
And then Generation 6, we're just it's a pure theater company.
Generation 7, where they're just shoot fight.
Generation 7, they're just blood sport. I mean, they will probably draw better in Ryogoku. I'm not gonna pick on that. I'll let but Josh Barnett, don't beat me up, please. But yeah. I mean, again, we're still in the act wrestling world, so
still are.
Regular pro wrestling rules somewhat apply.
Yep.
For example, what's going on with Asako? Is Asako Miya still a person by her portrait sales? The way she says. So when I went to Act 45, 40, 44, 45, 45. Yeah, I think I was at 45. she was selling portraits before the show as Asako Miya, and then after the show, she was only selling great Asako portraits.
She's the smartest person I've ever.
That's some worker shit right there.
Amazing.
Yeah. And she only speaks in English basically as great Asako. So it is dedication to the gimmick through the wazoo.
Gotta get her back to Maryland.
Yeah. Oh God, they need to do this somehow.
Axe sneaks her into the U.S. when she goes on excursion and sends her off on a.
She's not a wrestler, so it's fine. Sure. She could show up at a Japanese cultural event, and it'll be good for all of us.
If sightseeing is all she's doing, she can go on a tourist visa, I guess.
Does finding your papa count as tourism? Yeah, it's got.
Yes.
So let's get her over here.
Maybe she might find her papa on Wrestle Universe when Wrestle Universe is graced by the power of actress time. In a situation that is both like shocking and hilarious at the same time.
Yep, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the Actwres Killer'Z era. From the initial video they did, hinting at what a bizarre turn they're about to take.
It's the crazy video that started the whole thing, where aliens abducting 7 people who may
No. It wasn't an abduction. They just went home. They went home to their home planet.
True.
Oh, like Poochie?
Yes. Yeah. But unfortunately, they all died on the way to their home planet. So we'll never see them again.
Oh,
that's going to be awkward in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I mean, we'll never see Clam again unless we do. I don't know what's happening anymore.
I don't. We'll dive deeper into that because everything's crazy there. But that video where there's an abduction at Shinkiba, a barren wasteland, then a group of people ride in on their motorcycles. They all end up being the Actwres Killer'Z, and Mizuko was part of that. So it was just a crazy video, a fun little thing. It's kind of like, okay, everything kind of, we're starting over here. Things blew up, and now we're moving on forward, and there's going to be a fight. And they expanded on that with the formation of the Killers at that first show, and moved on from there. It was a very ridiculous video, but and if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on the Actwres YouTube, and definitely something to check out and laugh about. I think it's just a good sign that maybe they've moved on from it, and they're trying to make the best of it, and also kind of make a, not only a joke out of it, but just kind of like, all right, we gotta just kind of laugh about it and move on, and be a little silly about it, because it's the situation that they're in, and they gotta just move on.
Yeah, and I mean, again, this how many other promotions have been through similar, they kind of big blow ups. This is the business, whether they're in the business or not, whatever you want to. Again, let's not debate that at the moment, but like, you got to roll with the punches. Talent will go to other places. It will happen. And you have to evolve with the times, or not, or whatever. I don't know what this man wants to do at the moment, but as far as like the story, where I see the storyline going, I do enjoy the split in talent. I think it's generally pretty logical.
I think it makes sense to clarify things to people, and just people are just jumping on, and they're like, people just watching, and then just to simplify things, because they had a lot of different units, and now you had a decent amount of talent leave. A lot of like faction leaders or people high up in factions. They just kind of simplify it down to 2, and you kind of clearly can see who is the established hero and villain at the top of both of them. It's pretty obvious. But I'm gonna have you hold off on your opinions on what's going on and what you like about it, because I just like the tournament. The tag tournament was disrupted by 6 members leaving the promotion. I only got 2 tag teams into my rundown of the tag teams.
Yes, so, let's go.
Yeah. So another tag team that is probably up there. I would say like of the three like most established and regular tag teams is Natsu no Shiokaze, which is the team of Natsuki and Nagisa Shotsuki.
The Summer Breeze.
Summer Breeze, yeah. The bird noise theme song and everything. They come and they high five everyone. A lot of energy there, and I would say
tropical strike force, as I call them.
Yeah, that's a good name too.
But they run around with water guns a lot, so
yeah, that's perfect. So I absolutely believe that they, if they were going to have a tournament, they might actually be my favorites to win it. Tag
I would say,
but as we get deeper in, Natsuki did propose something else in the future. So
yes,
we'll see where that goes.
There was another proposal about belts by
Yep. And then Ichigogo, which is the team of Marino, Saihara, and Naru.
Team 155, as we would call them on this side of the language barrier, just because they are both 155 centimeters tall.
Yep, they're a great team. A lot of energy. Relatively new team compared to the other ones. So very, very just talented. They're both part of the Babyface Army and all that. A great combination. Then Riko Miku, Kanamiku, and Riko. That's another great team. Just a lot of cool, positive energy there, and Riko is just kind of finding a groove back, and really just the two of them are a great dynamic together. You have the Mint Blossom of Sakura Mizushima and Chiyoba, and then the first of the Kyoka teams, which may be IES, Kyoka and Rensan. Don't know if that's still a thing. Never have any idea of what's going on with IES. It just seems like it shows up and then goes away, and then
Rensan's been a while.
Rensan's been gone for a bit, so
she's
Kyoka's
a potato now. But she'll be back.
And
they're gonna break up 6 more times before the year's over. It's gonna be cool. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good.
It's fine. Kyoka's now teaming with Haruka Ishikawa, just as part of like the heel.
They're gonna keep breaking up, and I'm gonna keep cheering every time they get back together. It's just like I need this toxic relationship to continue for all time.
It's my favorite team, and it just keeps falling apart. And then we have Kira and Nene as well. Kira An and Nene teaming regularly. So those are kind of the regular teams so far in this kind of like the rebooted Actwres. So been fun to watch them.
Post-apocalypse Actwres.
Yeah, post-apocalypse. Yeah, the ones that survived. And then it's been a good like window into just seeing who has like potential and who has just this potential to break out. And we've seen a lot like Haruka Ishikawa, especially. I think finally, now that she's been on a few more shows lately, she's been kind of like really popular with fans now. People like say, "Oh wow, she's really like doing some cool stuff in the ring, doing some really cool moves." Really cool seeing her kind of break out of the.
I think we also forget like her and Mari were a pretty solid tag team.
Yeah,
for a bit there too.
I think it's just more that she just hasn't been on screen. She hasn't been doing much. She hasn't been doing as many shows.
Yeah, she was only like Korakuen for a while, wasn't it? Like she would just show up seasonally. It felt like.
Yeah, the bigger shows where I think there was both space and her schedule would line up because she continues as you can tell from her social media doing performances and shows.
Yeah,
it can be hard sometimes.
Yep, and she's also, I believe, a lighting engineer at a music venue.
I think that's the other thing. Yeah, she does a lot of. She's not just an actress; she's also like a theater backstage
technician.
Technician, which takes a lot of time.
Absolutely, and especially like that's going to clash with any other performance. I think the venue that she works at runs like shows almost every night.
Yeah,
so it's hard to leave and do something even for a few hours and have the commitment for training. But she said that she's training, she's still training, still doing things. Even when she wasn't on as much as she would like to be on the shows, she was still training and still practicing with everyone. So, and it's been paying off. Like
she's great.
Shows. Yeah, she's been just awesome.
And I think she should have been a heel all along, is what I'm thinking now. She's great at this.
Yeah, she's been awesome as a heel.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And then speaking of another person who's just embraced the heel role, Yufa,
Look, a person who actively kidnaps other people constantly, I don't know how any of us ever thought she was a good person.
Exactly.
So this is just, I think, clarification of what a monster she is.
Exactly.
With her little her little mallet.
It's an amazing look, and just she's got that energy to her. Like when she was in the corner that one match, and she bonked the Natsuki and stuff. It was just very, she's very good at that. Very good at just like making those moments really just even more. Like she just feels very evil now, and it's just really, really cool. She's got that aura to her. Definitely someone I feel like now that she's become more of a focal part of the shows, even though she's not in the ring, she's become such like an important part of the killer story, and almost like feels like almost like she could potentially be a leader of that crew, despite being probably one of the most junior of the members.
Yeah, and I believe, I'm not 100% sure. I believe she's still kind of recovering from a little bit of an injury.
Yeah,
so
that's
status in the ring is maybe her intention is to get obviously back in the ring, but right now I think there's a good use of her while she's on the kind of injured reserve.
Yeah, well, she's back for the next show too. She's got a match. I think she's just like limiting her dates and her in-ring time, but love to see her back in a more active role. And Jeff, are you going to say something about Yufa?
Oh no, I was just going to say she's very character driven, but I think that's a strength right now of this new era. I think you mentioned that a while ago, that like the era maybe of telling people that like all the great main event work rate related stuff might be on pause for a while, because I think we got a lot of cool characters though, and I think she's probably going to be one of those. Yeah,
but that's the way it's always been when they bring in new
rebuilding
people. Like there's rarely been someone hot out the gate that I felt Actwres like, oh, this is, I can tell, going to be a star. I mean, if you go back to those first AGZs shows, A to G, whatever they were going to do at that point. And like you like Yuna, I think, was the only one who really looked super ready.
Yeah, and she had time. Yeah, everybody else was day one. Yeah.
Like I'm looking at like last show, Nanami Togi and Hinata. It's early days for both of them. Now I think maybe Nanami is a little more athletically inclined naturally, but Hinata, I see the potential. Again, she's got the character, that cool entrance. And you just have to let her get the reps in. And I think that'll be it. And that's what I like generally about Actwres Girls is I think they let the talent figure it out over time in a natural way, and it's like whatever, you'll get there, or you'll find that midway point. Like AWBoy'Z recently has been starting to just like really tear it up, and I'm like, oh wow, because I remember her first match, I'm like, oh, this is good, but like now she's getting in there and like putting on some serious work.
Pretty aggressive for somebody who carries an ice cream cone to the ring is what I always figured.
Yeah.
When Maru just throws an ice cream cone clear out of the Shinkiba,
Oh, geez, yeah. He just launched that thing.
You nailed my next 2 points. I was going to talk about Hinata's entrance and Nanami Togi coming out with the bass. So,
yes. I have it under advisement that Nanami Togi was maybe inspired by a certain ninja who's turned into an evil cat who told her to do that, and also that Nanami Togi found it extremely heavy to lift all that gear to the ring. Those
are pretty heavy instruments,
that Thunderbird's a heavy bass, I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually impressed. She was able to get up onto the top rope and play a couple of rips, and then get back down. I would have 100% like killed myself and then broken that guitar in half.
I think that's the important part, like, of Actwres is like watching people develop their character and stuff. I think that the wrestling almost comes secondary in a way that is more natural, where it's a more natural growth and people really do that. But finding people and giving them the ability, especially like having Mari encourage them to say, "Hey, go do this thing that is you. It's a thing that like just takes your personality, amplifies it." Pun slightly intended there. And just really it showcases your personality. It showcases that, and like that's the stuff you can't really teach in training. You can teach people to drop. You can teach people to do suplex or something, but it really is like trying to find that magic of amplifying someone's personality to where it works in a wrestling environment or act wrestling environment. That's where they've always thrived, and it's where you see like you had people like I would say Himeka and whatnot come through and go, okay, they're going to be a big deal. You had the Tsukasa matches with Yappy and all that, some like big stuff, but like you had a majority of people to have that. Like you see what Ano was like when she debuted, and then you see Ami Sore, who was very rough at the start, and now she's a pretty much a superstar in Stardom. They're willing to debut people if there's something there.
Yes,
that's just tangible. Even if it's not like okay, you can't throw it even a drop it, but there's something there. There's something tangible, and it's just great to see. That's still kind of being the formula here. It's like all right,
exactly.
We're not going to focus on replacing Natsumi Shozuki or Miko Aono as an in-ring ace because none of these people are that, and we can't just force them to be that. We gotta.
Oh, it'd be a disaster.
Yeah, we gotta just build something. Yeah.
But yeah, the entrances. I mean, you look at like Poi early on. It was a lot of her stuff was entrance with the baton or the candy, or Mizushima with the ribbons and stuff. She really stood out early on.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, the ribbon was such a smart move. It's simple. It's eye-catching.
With the music and everything. Yeah.
She timed it well.
The megaphone. Yes.
Where would that megaphone go? We'll have to find out.
Yep.
I'm gonna laugh when she shows up at Gonjo. That's all. Who goes to Gonjo? Who pulls the Yuri move of? Well, we all know where she's going. No, we don't.
Yeah.
Oh, those are glorious times.
And another thing, like, on that same show that Naho debuted was maybe my favorite debut in the history of Actwres Girls was Marino Saihara.
Yes.
Just the Squirrel Girl, everything about it, the music, everything was so ridiculous.
Oh, when the music hit, I'm like, "What? Here we go, folks."
Yeah, this is something's happening right now, and now she's become the focal point of the shows. Now she's become the star. Like, I don't think that they were all in on her 6 months ago, but now with what's happened and everything, it's like, all right, well, we do have something here, and she's solid enough in the ring, and she has that personality, and people really, really do like her, and she's got appeal because formerly was part of an idol group and all that. So yeah, she's become such a big important part of this system, and the fifth edition, sixth edition of Actwres Girls, whatever we're up to. It's been really, really fun to see.
I think, she's perfect with her knowledge of superhero stuff, trying to tell these story arcs. I think she's probably the perfect person to lean on for this,
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
She definitely feels like someone creatively who is maybe guiding this new generation and the concept of the Actwres Killer'Z versus the babies. I definitely feel her input in this whole situation.
Yeah. And she's like this definitely got that hero stuff down. You can tell that fandom like really is such a big part of her as a person, whether it's trying to do like panels at Comic Cons and stuff. And they did the Comic Con thing with the cross universe thing and the multiverse.
Where they all cosplayed as like superheroes and villains.
And, I was lucky enough that Mari still had a Joker Mari left over. I have to hope. Naru also has, I think, a couple Spider-Man portraits left. I'm going to see if I can grab one next week. Again, she's someone who's definitely offering creative input. And what I like is, I don't know a company that would allow someone as junior as her to do something like that she's doing. Like the Osaka Comic-Con show. I mean, I think Mari was behind that too, but I think that was very much a Sahara project. And the company's like, yeah, go ahead, do it. Take was it 4 or 5 of their talents, and then put on a little mini show.
Yeah,
Comic-Con.
And it's crazy to think, like, yeah, she is only what 2 years and a couple of months into her career.
I think so, basically.
And and for her to kind of break out and do this stuff, and I mean, like, she does have experience in the idol industry and experience putting on performances and stuff. Definitely someone that it's just great to have someone like that for them to build around and lean on. So it's
well, she was out injured too for a while, so I think she's got like that desire
that
to
time off. Yeah.
Yep, she was. I think she had a couple of injuries. I remember, like, just really.
She had that leg injury. She was out a couple.
The leg was the big one.
Yeah, the big one, and
I think she hurt her hand once too.
Yeah, and that's got to be frustrating for someone who's like, but now to be in that spot where, like, they're building the kind of the company around her, it's kind of a great turnaround and a great story, and it's, again, perfect stuff. Even if you look at the real life stuff that happened with her, and now for her to be at the top of the hero squad and just rallying against the evil forces of the Actwres Killer'Z. So just cool.
I would say this. I think she's at the top as far as maybe leadership of the overall team.
Yes.
As far as power, I would almost say maybe Natsuki. I would give a good chance that Natsuki is our top face here, for the babies, especially after her challenge.
I agree. After that last tag match, I think there's potential. I mean, she's been around for. I mean, she was part of the end of the old system.
Yeah,
she was a rookie when they were the old system. So,
I think we forget she basically was the first to debut out of the ARG. So, like, she is for me, she is the first of the new act wrestling system. Because she debuted first, even before Koki, and
I
think Chiaki was that.
Chiaki was early. It was before the reboot, but Koki was afterwards.
Yes. I guess Rico also debuted.
Yeah, because Naho was part of the ARG early on, but she didn't debut until the
like step 4.
Yeah, same thing. Ren. Yeah, Ren was part of.
Ren was a bit later on, even though she was part of the original ARG crew. She debuted way after Natsuki and them. So
was Naru part of the old system, or did she debut in the new?
Naru was. She was at least.
Yeah, because she was part of Shell-All. Yeah, she was day one Shell-All.
Yeah, and she was there when
she was training.
She was there on the last show, and she was there. She was there tossing Tai up in the air with everyone on the last show.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I think Marino, or not Marino, Natsuki, she'd be a good choice. I mean, she's been like a workhorse. Like, they send her, even like when they had the Best Body Japan stuff, they would send her there because she's really
Best
good.
Body Japan.
She won,
Well, there's that too. She's very versatile. Yeah.
Yep.
She is an interesting combination of, like, literally someone when she had her first Actwres Girls match, I was like, well, she has both the physical ability and the character, I think, already.
Mm-hmm.
The combination of both. Yeah, I mean, even watching her, in Shell-All, that first appearance ever for ARG, I was like, oh, she's going to be a big part of this company if she decides to stick with this, because she's got the presence. She's got, even you can watch that first Shell-All show. She's got it's mostly gymnastics and ballet she's doing, but I was like, oh, she's very athletic. If she can put these things together, it's going to be really good, and I think she's proven it's very good.
Yep. Now she, like, kicks as hard as anyone. She's amazing. I was like, definitely Saihara's like the visible kind of leader. She's out there and trying to rally them. But you do have Natsuki there, and she's really just become, like, such a solid performer, solid wrestler, very, very good wrestler. And her just kind of being like, she has that fire. And I was going to get to it a little bit later when we were talking about that, but I'll talk about it now. She challenged Act for a title shot at Korakuen.
That's correct.
Which is, like, huge. And people were, like, behind her. Crowd was cheering, and Act just kind of brushed it off. But why? And I guess she's saying that the belt is meaningless at this point because it was surrendered, and it's just like what gives you the right to say, okay, I'm just going to fight you for the belt. I think that's an interesting way to see things and to build off of what happened, and to also have that heelish Actwres Killer'Z just feel to whatever this feud or even if there is going to be a match, you have like someone who simply will win it just to be disruptive if the match actually happens. So yeah, that's interesting to me.
I think it happens. The two of them. I had a lot of thought. I mean, we can get into it later. Where what I think maybe should happen, not what I think will happen. But I think Act is just playing in. They're doing like this meta kind of thing right now.
Yeah,
they're kind of leaning in, like the whole Actwres Killer'Z are really bitter about what happened. So it's like I think she's just, I don't know, she's probably popping off and saying stuff that she kind of maybe really feels, but it's also she can pretend, hey, it's storyline, and can't get away with it.
Yeah.
I think what I would like to see, and again, not what I think will happen, is I would like to see Act win, and then I want her to just kind of Naito the new title, and then Natsuki brings back the old title. Because let's remember that in the world of Count 2.9, she is the owner of the old Actress Girls belt.
Oh, that's right.
So she should come out with that belt, and we have 2 belts. And then we can do a unification match at Actress Mania, which is a show I made up that will be held at
Las
Crackwood Hall
Vegas.
December 31st. So it's back to back. It is it's January 1st. It is so it's Ribbon Mania followed by Actress Mania, and then I can die happy, and good times for all.
I think Act does probably win the title, and I think it would be good if she took it with her when she comes, to America, like partially as like a holding it hostage, but also for the visibility if she's going to be in America for a while.
Definitely.
Walking to the ring with it, and hopefully announcers on these shows mention it.
Yep.
Whoever gets that job, I'm hoping it's Veda, but we'll find out.
Jordan Castle, if you're listening to this.
Oh, Jordan Castle, if you're listening, please. Yeah, I'm sorry you got removed from the poster, but come on, buddy.
Yeah.
Do a little research. Listen to this 4-hour, 6-hour podcast and get in the know.
But I could see Natsuki also winning, just because it would be like stressing it's a new era and she is such a good wrestler.
Yes, and honestly, she was always in the mix for me as far as like who should be holding that title. She was definitely one of the new generation. She was like totally,
definitely at the top of the newer generation. Like after Shizuki, it was like, okay, like who would be next? She's an excellent choice would be Natsuki, and just kind of, yep.
Oh no, I think she's maybe benefiting from the Royal all being gone, because she was kind of lost in the shuffle. I felt at times.
I've definitely felt that way too, and it's like she's so good. She's shown a lot of growth, but she's got to break out in a crew with Sumikawa and Koki, and it's just so hard to break out. And like Goto was starting to be the big breakout as well. So like, what was her role there? And then the teaming with Nagisa, it's that kind of took her away from there, and kind of like, all right, now she's kind of getting rebuilt again, and now with them kind of out of the way, it's she's got a clear path now to the top of the card. It's just now you have like Act there, and I think that a lot of it is like you look at like the Killers, and they're like, all right, we're the strong style, this violence, and she's one of the few who can really keep up with them in the ring when it comes to like actually the striking and stuff like that. And I think that's really, really like a cool dynamic there when you have this match where she's willing to get a little bit violent, even though she is like, the happy, smiley summer breeze.
Best tag team. They're gonna. Hey, if she doesn't get the main event run, her and Nagisa, they can go for the tag titles at some point.
I forget. Did they show tag belts?
Never. I think they just mentioned them. I don't think they actually.
I don't know if they actually got them
anything.
made. I mean, again, bring back the old tag belts. There was nothing wrong with those belts. They were fantastic.
What didn't one of the tag belts get auctioned off?
I don't know if anyone got anything from those auctions, but we'll.
I thought they sold it for like $13,000 or something, if I remember
That's
right.
a possibility. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's every chance that happened.
It was definitely auctioned off.
Wasn't that auctioned off for a documentary that never got made?
Was it a documentary or was it that video to recruit new talent?
I thought it was like Fuka was going to make a documentary explaining what the company. Well, maybe it was a recruitment video, but I
believe it was meant to. Yeah, well, yeah, it was like half like what is Actwres Killer'Z, half we're trying to get a video to bring in more talent.
Yeah, that was from. Yeah,
it'd be hilarious if that video somehow gets finished.
There's just there's a lot around that we could dive into it and get a little frustrated at it, but we're not going to do that now.
Frustrated and amused. I am more than partially amused. I am a person who lives off chaos in some ways, so I was like, this is a bummer, but also hilarious.
Yep. And then we did talk about Mari and her new look, her new everything, her so. But yeah, her kind of being up at the top as a heel has been really awesome. Just the new look, the new everything, even a bunch of new moves that she's doing, just really adding a lot to the Actwres Killer'Z, and just I don't know, just get to see the reinvention.
Yeah, I think it's a reinvention. I think it's needed. Like, I mean, she could have worked just fine as she was, but her being so vicious, like against Naru, one of her old tag partners, is great to see. You know, like holy crap, she's beating the crap out of her.
Yeah, we saw flashes of that before too, like when she came out against Calico.
Yes,
just the aggression there, and you could see it in there. She could do that, and now to have a character where she can do that all the time, I think people who are like, she's a ninja, that's cool, whatever. Let's go watch Koki now. Like, I think people who are not as into what she was doing now, like now they're paying attention because she's able to have that more aggressive style and that more. It's definitely more like visually like appealing. The way that she wrestles and competes and looks now. So definitely a great change for her. And yeah, I think that her, Saihara, Natsuki, Act, kind of all just being up there. You really can't pick four more solid people out of this whole crew. And like Maru, she's there. She's guiding a lot of it. She's got that great mind for this stuff, especially when it comes to the heel stuff. Mi's out there, but I don't know if like leading the faction is something that she would want to do. I don't know what update is, if that even still exists.
What if Kuma jumps and ship and joins Actwres Killer'Z? Turns on her.
No good.
Just a black bear shows up. And
no
you're like,
good.
Oh my god.
Oh no, not. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's been happening lately. That's been the current state of Actwres Girl. Still a lot of questions. Still a lot of things that are up in the air.
Right. Looking at the card for Act 46. We have some. We have some people coming back in, like Rensan.
Yep.
We
got a lot coming up in the future too that might help figure out what's going on. And even add even more questions to everything. But that's part of the fun of it. Like, it's fun to be in this early in on a storyline, because there are going to be so many unanswered questions that we'll find out over the next couple of months. It's going to be a fun ride. Like, we have 4 debuts coming up at Korakuen.
That's correct.
So some big stuff there. And then do we have like what is going on with Bruce Asako against Rico Lee?
Oh yeah,
coming
up. That's insane. That's just, they've done insane stuff before, but I think they're just throwing stuff at the wall again and hoping.
But this is the promotion where people throw stuff at the wall. This
is
always
been it really is. Yes.
Yep.
But they're just like, hey, I got a really dumb idea. Like I remember the Nara Plaza videos they made for this hotel thing, which I have no idea how that happened. like that deal, and then that where someone said, "I agree, this is a good idea. Let's do this."
It's
Bowling tournament.
bowling tournament.
The bowling tournament. Well, I mean, the bowling tournament actually was maybe one of the most like generic, because that's something like I've seen before. This is just like just off the wall, random. I love it.
Perfect.
I'm cool with them.
I hope they have portraits for this Rico Lee Bruce Osako match.
And like we could go back to the early days of the promotion where pretty much everything Gabako did was just way out.
Yeah.
So it's always been a part. It's just a fun little thing.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to whatever the hell this is.
You guys have watched those deeper, but having just perused them not too long ago, I was reminded this has been a crazy promotion since day one, which is why I've always kind of loved them.
The puppet that was in the tag matches early days.
Yeah.
Johnson?
Yeah, and Gabuko had that gauntlet match that she ascended to heaven at the end, for crying out loud.
Okay.
Yep. So Bruce Osako against Rico Lee, not even in the top 10 weirdest thing now.
No, I don't think it will be. I think it'll be
what Rich knows I'm gonna say, but what about Poi eating a balloon?
Oh no. Still one of the I still laugh every time I think about it because it's so ridiculous. And always that kind of silliness. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be a silly thing. And but the whole card for the next show looks pretty good. You have again the Killer'Z against the Hero Army, and the lines are still being drawn when it comes to like Rensan and stuff. So and Yufa's going to be back in a match. Definitely, there'll be something to keep an eye on. Also got Korakuen coming up in a little over a month. Got a lot of stuff happening and developing for that. We're not sure if there's going to be a title match. We're not sure. It's probably going to follow that same kind of formula of Killer'Z against the Heroes. Any predictions for what we might see on there other than a potential title match? I think it's still kind of early, and we're still kind of.
I think, like with Marino, I think she's like blood feuding it, and I think she could be building to like one of those Maru brawl specials, like around Korakuen.
I think that'd be a good one, fighting around Korakuen. I would like to maybe see her versus Mari. I feel like that's maybe the ideological
That's another
divide.
one,
yeah. Maru could... I would like to see a street fight with Maru at Korakuen, or maybe a tag version of that. So that would be a good match to have. As far as the rookie debuts, I mean, they have 4.
Yep.
I'm trying to having seen nothing of them, because obviously they don't do like training exhibition match or anything like that.
Yeah.
Maybe one single and then put the other 2 in tag. I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's the old kind of Actwres way, right? So
they'll all be matches.
Or you do the what was it? Was it Yoppie or was it Yuko Sakura? I can't remember. There was that who debuted and they got like 15 minutes and it was way too long. It was at Korakuen.
I don't think it was Yoppie because Yoppie's debut was pretty awesome.
Well, of course, I was against Tsukasa. I mean, she had one of the best debuts of all time.
I'm trying to think of like
by default of her opponent.
Yeah.
Who was? No, it was 2 rookies at the time. Basically, it was a double debut.
They had the match on that the first Korakuen, which was Hota against Yuko Sakurai, Yumi Hayashi, and Misa Matsui. I think that felt like it was an eternity.
That first Actwres Korakuen is fantastic, but also like it was very early days.
Yeah, no, it was great, but like it just like it's
Hota
having a Hota match against 3 people at once.
Yeah.
Didn't Goto early on kind of just have like a bunch of stalling and mic work in her matches? Wasn't that kind of like her thing when she debuted?
Ochika?
Yeah, didn't she like have a lot of like action in her match? I don't remember them being that long, but
and she even brought in those, what was it, the 2 guys?
Giant
Baba and
the Noki guy.
Yep.
Oh my god. Speaking of weird,
again, go back to the Bruce's Sako match. Yeah, always been part of the charm of Actwres Girls.
Yes,
but yeah, definitely.
I love it because it's always like, why is this happening? There's no precedent. We haven't set up anything about any of this. What is this?
Yeah, it's the debuts can. I think I don't think we'll have like 2 versus 2 tag match or something. I think they got to be mixing with the roster, and we'll figure out where they fall on the battlefield pretty quickly, where we'll see them either on the Killers or the Heroes and whatnot. So yeah, I'm excited to see them.
Well, we have one who is an enthusiastic airsoft player, which I support.
Yes. Yep. So we have some cool personalities, I think, coming through. So definitely looking forward to seeing what they can do in the ring and seeing what they had to Actwres. I mean, they lost 6, 7, 8 people now since April. So kind of rebuilding and bringing in some new talent. Very exciting.
It's one of those things where I do think like, oh well, the positive side of all of this is it makes space, especially because the way the system works in Actwres Girls, you need opportunity to wrestle, and then sometimes the card's just a little too full. Except for Crackman. I think Crackman, they always try to get everyone on.
Yeah, it's like what I said before. I think when we did the last episode, was NXT at its peak was really when it was like that systematic. Okay, they'll do like 1 or 2 main event programs, and then they're off to the main card, and we'll never see them again. And you kind of just had a constant stream of new people and building and rebuilding. And I know Sakaguchi probably doesn't want to admit that that's like what his promotion is, where people come in and then people like it's the worst kept secret that they develop some of the best talent in the scene.
Yes, it's not hard to see.
Yeah, and it's you look at people who've come through there, and you look at people who are on the scene. You look at the alumni page I have on awg.wrestlinggood.com, and you see all the faces who are all around the promotion, and all around the scene that came from that promotion. Like Sakaguchi, like I don't know. I think it's time to realize, okay, we're not going to be able to compete with Stardom and Marigold and TJPW. The people have a lot more money and a lot more resources and more things behind them.
Maybe slightly less, flighty at times.
Yeah,
I think people get good, and I think you said that once. People get good, Rich. I think you said people get good, and either someone realizes it and they're on their radar, or they become self-aware of how good and what their worth is, and decide greener pastures, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they realize that they're getting good at professional wrestling.
Yes.
And like Chika Goto is a great example. Like she was getting good at professional wrestling, and she's someone who's probably like, all right, am I stuck here? Miku, also someone who had reached the pinnacle of Actwres Girls, kind of was just doing nothing, treading her wheels, and kind of like just trying to remind people that she's still the ace. And now she's gone because like what is she going to do, and why would she stay if she felt like, all right, now they're going to build more people for me to wait for? I want to go and do something else.
And I think in her case, it was a very good faith. She did everything asked of her for a couple of years as an ace. So it's like, I don't see like I don't feel like upset that she left. Like she did everything, like you said, she did a hair match even. Like she was out of things to do.
Yeah, she was.
She did a hair match where she got a more stylish haircut. I don't know if we're gonna count that.
I was there, and I was kind of shocked when she walked out. I'm like, that's it? Okay.
Yeah. She got, let's not call it a hair match. It was a hairstyle
haircut match.
It's just a trim match, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of the few situations where she came out, the loser came out looking maybe even better than when. I know, you know what? I'm gonna give that. I still give that to Kaho Kobayashi when she got her head shaved, because she came out looking meaner and more awesome than before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just like when you like Miku, especially, you see people who you've wrestled with and you've fought with and you've trained with, especially like a Mai Sakurai who debuted way after you and only had a couple matches in Actress and moved on to now being in these, big buildings around the country. And then you see like Momokogo and it's like you just gotta go, okay, there's something else out there. And it just makes sense for that. So like I don't want to say that they should just roll over and just continue to be a developmental for the three, like, the big three, and just create great freelancers who get, who eventually get bored of Actress and then become freelancers. I don't think,
or to get a better deal. So I
Yeah.
cannot blame someone for taking a better deal. You're a talent.
Yeah.
You're a talent in an industry that's very physical, and that puts a timer on your career. At some point, you have to make the decision for yourself.
Actwres Girls is creating great wrestlers, and they're telling them that they're not wrestlers. And then they go and they look and they see people who are wrestling, people who have been in Actwres Girls, who are now at Rygoku and big places. Stardom has people at the Dome shows. They're wrestling in much bigger places. They're making more money. There's more than the Shinkiba 176 Korakuen loop. So, yeah.
I think that's what it was.
For me, one of the biggest things, if they were to open up again, is that people like Hinata and people like Nanami Togi and Aobachi, they would be able to get reps elsewhere. Like I would love to see Hinata get 2 shows at Diana Dojo, just to, number one, because it's close for me and it's easier. I'm selfish. Yeah. But also, number 2, just to get a rep. You need a rep. You need practice. There's only so much you can do in actual practice. Right? So, I miss those days, because I remember one of my first YMZ shows, it was, who was it? I think it was Igarashi was wrestling. And it's just like, I think it was one of her earlier matches in her relatively short career, but like it was a good match, and it gave her the opportunity to wrestle, like which she might not have had on the limited number of Actress shows that were happening.
Yeah, and then on the other end, I would say, like, for someone like a Miku, or you would be able to send them to a show like when she was at on Ice Ribbon in Yokohama, when she was in that match with Mio and everything. Just a bigger stage, bigger show. You get that, she gets that experience on the big stage, and maybe it's enough to go, okay, if I can keep doing this occasionally, it's enough of an incentive to either stay. But that's not the system anymore. That's not what they're doing. So
I think that's what it was. It was a built up frustration, and maybe with some of the people that left now. I mean, like, if they went to another company, they probably have a nice contract, and it's actually like guaranteed, a higher amount of money. And so it's like, a lot of them are probably working a lot of part-time work elsewhere. And it's like, they're probably seeing that I could probably quit all this part-time stuff and focus just on one thing in my life.
Which is, and if when you want that stability and you want to be, again, I want to go full on as a pro wrestler. I think I completely understand that. So. And
they already have the groundwork for being a pro wrestler, because they came through the Actwres system, which has produced the previous white belt champion and all that.
I think there's also talents. I think, like, let's bring up someone who I think has amazing potential, which is Yui Tenshoku. I think Yui, again, watching her limited few matches, has both the character and the physical ability to be something really special. But Yui has, if you follow her on social media, has said multiple times she still has aspirations to be a voice actress, and that's something she spends a lot of time on. So,
she's a very dedicated self-promoter. I know that.
Yeah. And I think she has goals, like she would probably never have made it in any other promotion or be wrestling at all if she had to do the thing where I got to be a wrestler full time, because I don't think at least right now, at the moment, she's not interested in that. And that's, again, I think something that has to be looked at with Actwres Girls. There are some talents that just want to do this, try this, and maybe they go with it, maybe they don't, and then still maintain some outside work. Again, that is different from having to do outside work just to support your pro wrestling. But
that's what actually pretty much kind of said, isn't it? With her long post that she put on social, that there are people who want to be pro wrestlers, they should go follow that dream, and the people who want to do what Act Wrestling is about, there's a home for them here.
Yes,
kind of thing. Like you can do there's a home for people who want to just do Act Wrestling a couple times a month, and like they're maybe trying to recruit people with that mindset, hopefully going forward.
Yeah.
And like just talking about indies in Japan in general, there are places and there are performers in Japan that are clearly just, not to say that they don't have the fire for it, but they have other things going on. Like some of my favorite independent wrestlers, like Chon Shuryu. Like Chon Shuryu is not signed anywhere. If you wanted to, I think Chon could get signed easily, at least to a place like DDT, or get a more regular gig at Choco Pro. But I think he has other things he wants to do with his life. I mean, it's half kayfabe, but I do believe he has a full-time job doing something else that he enjoys, and I don't know.
I heard about his. Yeah, he does have a. Yeah, I mean, there are musicians that do that, where they're like what they call weekend warriors. They just go out a few times a month and perform. I mean, it's. I think that's maybe what they need to focus on, is try to. I don't know how you do it, because like Rich said, that inevitably what happens is they find out they're really good at this and want to pursue it more.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the old days, the benefit was he allowed them to wrestle elsewhere, and I think that can scratch a certain itch for people.
Yeah.
Or management allowed, whatever. But
if I remember correctly, an Act's big tweet was she even said she wanted to be able to send off people who wanted to do wrestling in a celebratory way, rather than have that more drama, more a blow every single time someone leaves.
But again, we have seen that. When Ano left, it was a very nice show. Ano's final show. Yep. I felt the actress was good. Poi, not so much.
No.
That was other stuff going on. But yeah,
it seemed like a rare occurrence.
Alan got a pretty good send off.
Yeah, Alan got a great send off.
Alan got a good send off. Yeah, and Alan was done. I'm going to argue that Cat Mask, whenever we see her again, or in whatever form she takes in the next phase of her career, got a nice send off as well.
Yep,
she did. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think because she is, she looks out for these other wrestlers, and maybe some of the ones that are leaving she's close with, and doesn't want them to be harassed for the decisions they're about to make.
Oh boy, and let's not forget, some fans are not great.
Yeah, so I think that's where she's like preemptive strike. Like, I'm sure for some of these people that are thinking of exiting, or maybe have exited and maybe aren't done with wrestling, she's like, I don't want a certain type of fan to be coming after them for being quote unquote traitors.
Right. Don't spend like hundreds of dollars for a meet and greet.
Yes.
To then use it to jawjack someone at the merch table.
Yeah, and I think for her, she doesn't. She sees the ugly side of the business. Well,
she's seen. I think she's seen probably more of the business than most performers have.
Yeah, I mean,
career where she's been
through it. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think she's like, she's just trying to mitigate, like, everybody cool out, let people go their ways and follow their dreams, and let's move on ourselves and focus on what we're doing now.
I'm also just happy that certain talents are getting the ability to perform, that now that there's space, you have to make space at some point.
Yeah, like we were saying, Natsuki's probably benefiting with her new role. Like, she probably wouldn't have had this opportunity or Marino as well. Yeah.
Again, especially, I think Natsuki and Marino were pretty good, but like for me, like it's the Aochibas of the world, it's the Harukas of the world, that now there's a little more space for them when they're available to pop up and do some work.
Yeah, and seeing them both like take advantage of those opportunities now that they probably wouldn't have had if the cards were. Well, I mean, they only run like 5 matches at most at Shinkiba, and that's 6 people are gone, and now they're filling that void, and they're doing a really damn good job, especially those two. But very much like Togi also really so much potential.
Togi looking excited to get more shows and matches under her belt, and more guitar riffing.
Hell yeah! Just future's pretty bright if everything kind of if people just if things just kind of I guess settle down a little bit, and then
I will be here for Actwres Killer'Z Phase 10.
Yes.
When it's just it's basically Makai, but whatever, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I said that I think maybe if they want to do this act wrestling, follow it that path, start running at theaters and stuff, and just integrate more. It would be a lot more work to do like storylines, heavy shows, but
I mean, they've done that already. That's what ARG is, and I think that's also why we get less.
Oh, I mean,
ARG
like
shows,
full on run in a. I mean, don't do a wrestling ring anymore, so you have less comparisons to pro wrestling. If that's a problem going forward, that would mitigate it. Like just run inside a stage house, a theater.
I believe that's what Makai has switched to.
Yes,
yes, entirely.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that's probably what they want to go. But it would. There would be a lot less of that dissonance, of wait a minute, we're in a wrestling ring, but we're not really wrestling, but we are wrestling, but we don't call it wrestling. Yeah,
wrestling. I think that somehow is still just a sticking point for a lot of fans all over, like whether it's overseas or in Japan.
It is the sports entertainment terminology of the indie scene out here right now.
Yeah,
right. We are act wrestling is the we're sports entertainment. It's like whatever. We know what you've coded this as. I get it. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's like you are closed circuit right now, and that's fine. I see where you're coming from. Again, not the only closed circuit promotion. Like I think we forget that Stardom up until recently was relatively closed off, except for those New Blood shows.
Yep. TJPW really works with
TJPW even more. Like how often have they let talent in? I think again only now, as we'll get to soon, are we seeing a little more cracks on the wall.
I think during the pandemic they had like obviously for obvious reasons no foreign talent, but they weren't. TJPW was very much in its own ecosystem.
It has been since the start, though. I mean, they've always been very closed outside talent, which I understand. It's just the way the management there sees it. But I think even recently they've made comments saying like, well, you probably should open up at least a little bit. Because again, they are in a situation where like, Miyu Yamashita is very much, I think, in the Miko Ano situation of she's done it all. Like you could give her the belt again, but what does that achieve?
Well, she was at an NXT show.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But like, I mean, like, I would say, Miyu Yamashita, AEW, Atlantic champion, whatever that belt is, and let's go. I would, for someone like her, she needs to work, and she is at least foreign outside. But I would also just love to see her fight, Nakamori at a Pure J show,
Yeah, I think for her specifically, she's got her sights over in the States and stuff too. She's working GCW and all different promotions over here. It's
her and Ito both are kind of like not out of the company, but they're kind of transitioning away, maybe.
Well, I mean, they're looking for bigger grounds. I mean, they're bigger stars. I mean, I would argue Ito winning the title is still something they should probably try at least for a bit, because they built it up for so long, and there's probably payoff there. Especially now that, maybe put it. I would have liked her to take it off Mizuki, but there's still time for that. But crossing over, working outside, I think that's an important building block for a really good wrestler.
Definitely. And like, but Marigold even said like they're gonna kind of close off their system a bit too. So I don't know if it's a new new like way to do things, or the way that the everything's going.
Well, I mean, I also think if you look at how many trainees they have, they're getting to the point where they don't need too much outside talent, and at some point the cost.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even for them, I would say send your talent out. Maybe not necessarily bring anyone in, but go send people out to go train and wrestle elsewhere. Even if it's just like, again, a show at Diana or whatever. Reina's back. Let's just fill a card.
Reina's back.
Reina card. Reina's back. We'll talk about that some other time.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's Marigold, because they're like trying to be like a 1-to-1 to Stardom, where Stardom is looking at worldwide expansion, and I think Marigold is like, we're like a walled off paradise at some point. That's the goal, to be like they said, a throwback to another era of Joshi wrestling for the hardcores, maybe. Yeah, and I don't know if that's where it's gonna that, but go. Well, I think that's like a marketing maybe direction they hope they can go, because they want to differentiate themselves enough from what Stardom is doing. Right. But also be a competitor. Like, they don't want to just be like, if they're just a clone, like, why would you even need to watch them? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I guess you would watch them in theory because they took the talent that you really liked, which is, for some people that was the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a lot of talent that people
look. If Mari goes to AEW tomorrow, understand I will become the biggest Tony Khan supporter of all time. I'll be like, TK can do no wrong. He put the belt on Mari, and he's the smartest booker of all time. But whatever's going on with this men's division, whatever. But like, here we go. That's my loyalty. Is like, I want to see the talent do something good and have fun.
Yep. Yeah. And well, speaking of Marigold, Actwres time at Marigold?
It is Actwres time, guys. Did you know?
What the?
That's bizarre.
So, let me just say, okay, I'm gonna pick up my phone here. I have open up line. I have like 5 active line chats I actually live in, but then there are a good 60 that are just like old chats that I haven't touched in forever, to people that I don't even know if they're in Japan anymore. But every now and then, you have, it's late, and some old contact will go like, "Hey, what's up?" And you're like, "What?" And so, I'm not going to say this is what happened. But what I'm going to say is, there's a very good chance that at 3 a.m. on a random Thursday night, Fuka, or let's say the management at AWG, may have been just hanging out at home or whatever, getting drunk, and then a message popped and say, "Look, what about Actwres time?" And then someone's like, "What do you mean?" "Well, why don't we just bring everyone over and we'll do Actwres time?" And then it's like, "Well, I haven't talked to anyone." And she would be like, "Who cares? Let's do this." And then the hilarity ensued. And then everyone woke up the next day and was like, "Why is this happening?" Sakaguchi, and then just like fist in the air, like shaking against the clouds. And then here we are. It's Actwres time, guys.
I thought I was hallucinating the dreaming when I saw the damn announcement. I was like,
I saw it, and
right. I'm going back to sleep.
I was at work, and I was trying just not to laugh, staring at the computer screen. It was just like, yeah.
I was shaking my head and was thinking, if you agreed to this 3 months ago, you would have your main event still. But that was my thought.
Oh yeah. Maybe, but who knows? He might have lost the rest of the roster. There's you never know when Mr. Moneybags himself comes into town.
True.
How much he's going to collect. So I understand. But yeah, you know what? People who know me know that I am here for Actwres time. So will I be in Ryogoku on the... When is it? 13th? It's the 13th, right? Is that what we're talking about here? Okay. So will I be in Ryogoku for that? Maybe. If you see photos of my social media up in the nosebleeds, it's somewhat depending on whether a certain ninja is going to show up for Actwres time.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it. They may or may not be interested in Actwres time.
They don't seem to be wanting to go to the fields of marigolds, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Right. Yeah, because maybe they carry stabbing implements and don't think they can control themselves.
I think that was it. That was so funny because nobody said anything, and then Act had to like make a statement and felt like she was trying to.
Silence.
She was trying to put out some fires.
So
it felt like.
Yeah.
And she was trying to put out fires, and she was like, "There are people in the company that are not still happy about what happened." And it was like, I think I can probably figure out who some of these people who aren't happy are.
It's not rocket science, and the second the announcement dropped, and then 30 minutes later when I saw no one talking about it, I'm like, oh, I know this is going to be a thing.
Yeah,
that felt like a lot of. It felt like the roster found out when we all found out, maybe.
Oh, 100%. That's what happened. Understand, 100%. They put the poster together. He sent all the assets over in that line chat or whatever. They put a poster and then they posted it, and then everyone else was like, "Why? God damn it!"
Yep.
Yeah, and I felt bad for Act because she was like, "Okay, so here's what's going on," and I'm trying to like put out like a good spin on this, and knowing that she's like, "Look, we have a understaffed crew here. People, please bear with me."
I'm not the actual vice president of Actwres Girls, but technically I am right now. So I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, I felt bad. She was definitely trying to spin stuff and was like, knowing this was a losing battle in a way with certain fans and certain talent, probably even. She was like, "Oh boy."
Yep.
Judging by the timing, she may or may not have been shooting photos with one of those talents that may not have been too happy about the whole situation.
Yep.
I believe they were.
That would have been a fun conversation.
The Hako factory at that time, getting some work done.
That would have been a fun conversation. I bet there were a lot of fun conversations after that announcement was made.
Oh boy, there was a lot of drinking and sword sharpening going on.
Yeah.
But well, we will see. I may. That's a rare long weekend for me where I may just hang out in Tokyo all weekend, and then hopefully watch Mika Iwata prove the world wrong again. But we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. There may be Actwres time for me. If not, you can watch it on the award-winning Wrestle Universe. It's only 999 yen.
Well, it's also a pay-per-view.
Isn't it more now?
It's a pay-per-view.
Oh, you're right. But yeah, sorry. You can watch it on the award-winning Wrestle Universe for a fee.
Yes.
I have no idea what that fee is.
It also is up from $9.99, like whatever.
It's up to 12, I think.
Yeah. Maybe 12.
You're right, which in American dollars is still like a nickel.
Still like,
so
it's still the best dang value in wrestling.
So do you how many Actwres times at Marigold do you think? Because Act even joked that she thinks this might not last. I think she said that.
Well, if violence ensues almost immediately, then no, I don't think it will last.
Like, do you think we get through the summer of Actwres time? Like, do we have one in the fall, or are they? This is a quick, and we made a mistake. We're out of here thing.
I think it depends on how it goes. I think it depends on how it's received. I think it depends on how the talent deals with each other.
I really hope that it's like a I don't know, people just kind of go and move on from it. I don't know. And I think this is a good kind of way to get that process, either in motion or continued. But again, there are still those hard feelings, and it does. I really hope that it does continue on, because it would just kind of, I don't know, put it all behind everyone. But it also might just only be a thing that they're doing because of Princess Tenko. So
also,
I don't know.
Again, that could be a third factor that was in that line chat of Princess Tenko, because again, there's that theater connection, reaching out and going like, "Hey, dummy, let's just do this."
Yep. And
you know what? Whatever. It's how many weird Like, let's just, if you want to talk about weirdness and Actress Time was also part of the very extremely weird, and I don't know why it happened, Nakajima run in All Japan, which I will always remember for Nakajima showing up to an Actress Girls show for no reason and just setting up a little merch booth with his t-shirts and just standing there talking to Sakaguchi the whole time, selling, I think, a grand total of 2 shirts while I was there.
Amazing.
And I was like, I don't know why any of this is happening, but it is hilarious and I love it. And God bless Nakajima living under a bridge wearing airsoft goggles all day.
Yeah.
It's just weird partnerships with this company too. It's just always.
You know what? It's a weird time in Japan in general. Again, what is all together? What is how open is Stardom? Where is any of that leading? No. We have Sukiban. What is Sukiban? Are they doing a Japan show? What is why? We have Spark champions running around here all out of control. I don't know what's going on anymore.
And now Princess Tenka was an observer for Actwres Girls.
This is a wild era. I was just gonna say this era. We said whatever number it is that you could rename it the Princess era.
Sure. Yeah. We can do that. We can all these things we can do.
Yeah. It's. I'm gonna wake up to a crazy message tomorrow about some partnership or something.
Tomorrow we're gonna wake up and it's gonna be announced that Ame Sore has replaced Koki as Clam in the next ARG performance of Shell All.
She's Tokiwa.
What if
exactly it won't matter. Micah is Tokiwa now. Guess what? This is just happening.
What if Lee Jeans comes back?
Not Ozaki. It's the other Micah. The other
back
one.
Lee Jeans.
I want Lee Jeans to re-enter this. They got a say in what's going on. Come on.
They got that whole dance crew that came in those early shows. We got to get them back. There'll be Lee dancing time too. The original Actwres time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Everything's weird. Everything's kind of broken in a sense, but Actwres will hopefully endure. There was talk about how unstable things were and shutting down and all this stuff, and a lot of it is obviously Sakaguchi being drama. Yep.
But you know what? AGZ is not dead. That is just true. Because it is, I don't know how they have been around forever. They'll probably be around when I'm long gone.
You chart their history, and it's like, what is it like? Every 12 to 18 months, they do some sort of retooling or like new direction, and some of it is due to certain top people leaving. So I mean, I think with Actwres Girls at this point, it's like par for the course, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
All this chaos.
Yep.
Chaos is their brand. They love it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit of a messy human being myself. I kind of love it. That's
love the
how
chaos.
I am.
Always about the chaos.
That was my favorite. Where's chaos? Okada had it right. Now he's doing whatever. So, such is life. But yeah, they will continue to evolve. The thing is, this is the thing. Even if somehow Actwres Girls, like for me, Actwres Girls actually going away is actually like the not possibility. I feel the system is so ingrained. Even if it were to go away, and I think it only goes away with Sakaguchi. The people involved would carry on the legacy of act wrestling. Like, I mean, it's already happening. I mean, Taie is out there.
Yeah, you have Colors essentially doing their
which Colors is literally just Colors from
on the freelance circuit essentially. Yeah.
He has never said anything about them. He's basically let them keep being Colors, like, because I think he knows Saki will kill him if she tried to stop him.
I wouldn't cross Saki at all. Yeah. Let her do whatever she's gonna do.
I mean, they were literally in the same building yesterday, and I think there was no issues. And we'll talk about that in a second when we get to the greatest show of all time.
With the Korakuen show coming up, the title, the Act versus Natsuki. Before, like how I was at two minds after the last show, where I could see Natsuki being somebody they could gamble on and just be like, go with her at Korakuen. But
I definitely think, that's your clean thing. I think for me, it's a little too early in the story.
I think she could lose, like put up a great fight, lose, and then her path would be a tag run with Nagisa.
Yes.
And I think Act having like a reign of terror, as the bad guy. And in my mind, fantasy booking, I'm not sure it goes this way. She has this reign of terror maybe through the fall and maybe towards the end of 24 or the early 25. There's a new era person who has beaten her twice. And that would be anointing Mizushima at some point down the road to be the one to dethrone.
Yeah.
I'm there for that.
He would be like, I can beat you a third time for the title. And she ends the evil reign,
Sakaguchi, get in this chat. We need to talk.
That was my thought, and I'm not
sure.
You know
what? I bet if we can get him into a line chat, we could probably pull this off.
Sakura needs the belt.
The Miz rules the world after that,
Yep.
That would be a really cool story. I'd love to see it. And, we're talking almost, 10 months down the line, potentially. We're talking like maybe March Korakuen next year.
Something
like that.
Because as I said, I see Marino doing like a bunch of blood feud stuff. Like, I'm not sure her story even requires a title run anytime soon.
No, I don't think so. I think her story right now is just fighting evil. That's her story.
If she defeats like Maru in a random blood feud match or loses, that's the story. The belt is not the focus. The focus is getting rid of this evil presence that has shown up in her home.
Yep.
Because I've also seen, and I know it's probably just all the wrestlers would say this, but I even seen like Mizushima talk about that she has a goal of being an ace someday. And I don't know if she will ever reach that, but I mean, she'd be a good candidate down the road. Like she took to this very fast.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. She's one of those like performers who I feel like went from 0 to 60 very quickly.
Yeah.
Again, coming from a very athletic background in gymnastics, I think helps.
Yeah.
So I think it might be pretty heel heavy for a while, which I know some people maybe don't like, but I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, my favorite era of like wrestling is the NWO kind of stuff.
You have to like a lot of people are criticizing, think the Stardom situation with a lot of outsiders kind of coming in and beating up their talents, but we forget Stardom basically just got raided as well. They are in a rebuilding phase.
Oh, they're 100% spinning it as a new era without a doubt.
Yeah, because they lost some major players, and so like the idea that like, oh well, what were we gonna do? Just like continue business as usual? That's ridiculous. You have like Ano losing that belt made sense because it creates drama for Ano. Like her winning that match would have done nothing for anyone really. Now we have Ano in this weird emotional state, which it's Ano. It's hilarious that she'd be in an emotional state.
Yeah, she hasn't had emotion since the early days of Actwres Girls. So yeah.
But I don't know. It's just I'm excited to see with the randomness of what's going on now in all promotions that there's potential for crossover.
I think everybody's rebuilding and trying new. I think every company's rebuilding and trying new things right now. I think across the board. Well, Marigold's new, but outside of them, it's like TJPW, Stardom. They both have a lot of new talent they're trying to get up and running.
Yeah.
TJPW lost, Yuka to AEW, and you have a lot of their people overseas are doing other things, and Stardom rebuilding. Marigold is building, so it's an exciting time because a lot of things are just happening. And Actwres is really they're just always rebuilding. It feels like.
I feel like a cycle with them.
Always rebuilding and always building. new talents.
Yeah,
you would
so
not expect.
I think that's part of what makes it exciting is you see a lot of like really raw talent debut and figure it all out and all that, and that's kind of you're seeing now across the entire industry, which is fun.
If only there was a place all this could cross.
Yeah, I
over.
know.
Oh, a cross, yeah.
Yeah,
Good segue.
cross.
I'm practicing.
Is there a Tokyo Joshi wrestler who had a show involving previous Actwres talent and even current Stardom talent? I wonder if that happened. Oh yeah, it happened yesterday. Chris, you were there. Cross Kakuta's produce show as she heads towards her retirement. So,
yeah. Her first and only, first and last self-produced show, Kakuta Cross. And it was as advertised. It was a tribute to her history as a pro wrestler and all the places she's kind of stopped in and all the friends she's made along the way. It was a sub 90-minute show, and it was excellent.
It's going to go down as one of my favorites of the year. Just sentimental value, really, but
yeah,
it was good.
And just the fact that all these companies set aside stuff for one evening. I mean, Sakaguchi was in there attending, and it's like Stardom sent people there. Yeah, and I think it was like a ceasefire, almost like a truce, between all these companies that maybe don't exchange Christmas cards. Yeah.
No one wants to. Well, I mean, Tetsuya Koda has no Christmas cards except for the ones he sends to the Morning Mizuni singers. But anyways, like this was a show for now, by now, and no one is going to get angry at Nao Kakuta because she is one of those people that I think it's impossible to be angry at or not listen to.
Yeah, and I think it happened. I think it only happened because it was a special occasion, her retiring. Maybe if it was just a produce show like a year ago, maybe it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I think so.
I may have been. Yeah.
No, I mean, it is very special circumstances for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely think they would not have gotten. I mean, just even getting permission to basically run a Tokyo Joshi show. Technically, this was not a Tokyo Joshi show, but obviously very much was, right?
Yeah.
And I think because it is Nao's retirement, she was able to call in people, and again, people came in that wouldn't have otherwise. Like I did, working with Stardom, which is hilarious because this is like, in theory, altogether is the UPW, what is it? Universal Pro Wrestling. UPWF? What are they calling that thing out here? I can't remember. Anyways, but the altogether group. Yeah, the altogether thing has been hilarious because so far it's just been Stardom. As far as the Joshi side is, it's just been Stardom doing Stardom matches.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Where is?" I saw your name on that banner, Tokyo Joshi Pro.
They were busy. They had plans, man. They couldn't be there.
Not the last time.
No, they were busy. They had to wash their hair. Come on,
running a show in like somewhere.
The first time, yeah. The second time, Tetsuya Koda was not picking up. Like the worst part is they went in the line chat and the message was seen, but he did not respond.
Oh, he left some mofos on scene for sure.
Yeah. But this was, I think, this was a show done for a very specific, very special situation for and again, for a talent that seems to be universally loved. So it was a fantastic show. Great energy. I am glad they kept under 90 minutes because I almost died in Shinkiba. Not since Io Shirai's gauntlet farewell match have I felt so much in danger in Shinkiba from just like, this place is too full and it is getting uncomfortable. But
being in a shed during the summertime might be a bit too much.
Oh,
I mean, they upgraded the AC units in that place, and those AC units were fighting for their lives. They were doing the best job they possibly could. Now Kakuta's knit gear gave me anxiety just because the idea of wearing knit anything at that moment was mind bending. Kudos to the talent. I can only imagine what it was like to be in the ring in that heat and humidity
Yeah.
Just like if someone put me in a headlock, I would submit immediately just for having human contact in that heat. I would have given up, surrendered at all things in life, which only makes it more impressive when you consider some of the matches. Because it was mostly a fun card.
Yeah, I would say the main event brought it though. Yeah,
main event brought it.
The main event 100% brought. I mean, you know what? Himeka and Himawari, not Himeka. Micah. Not that Micah, the other Micah, the more important
Micah Ozaki, yes.
Yeah.
Not other Micah.
Sister Plus is put on, I thought, a great match with Himawari. I thought that was a fantastic little match. For Himawari, and just for everyone to remind that Micah Ozaki is amazing.
Yes. Yep.
But, do you want to run through the matches very quickly?
Let's run through the matches. We'll dive deeper into this and go. This will do a review-ish of. Okay. We'll go into it. So, the first match is Cherry versus Kakuta Sekiguchi with a special guest ref Himeka. This was a lot of fun. Cherry's always like fun. She always adds like a fun dynamic to her matches, and Kakuta is also just like one of my favorites ever to come out of Actwres. For sure.
She's such a good all around. She can do any type of match. That's what I like about her. Like
and just having Himeka there as the ref was just.
If they are looking for a regular outsider, you could do worse than Kakeru Sekiguchi as your regular outsider who comes in and wrestles your talent.
Yeah, she's always like so solid, just always so solid, and just really, really just has a cool look, cool presence to her. Even when she's like kind of geeking out over Coca-Cola or Christmas trees. Always wonderful. And yeah, like just, it's a good dynamic. Her and Cherry. I mean, Cherry even back to the Actwres days and may have wrestled as Sakura and Bonita.
I was gonna say she reminded me of someone in Actwres.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't confirm.
No, I don't know about that guy. That sounds a bit of a reach.
It does sound crazy. Yeah, and then like Himeka picking up the win was very fun. It was silly.
Yeah,
silly way to end that.
I'll say this: Himeka looked great. Like, even in retirement, it looks like she's staying fit for another run. Will that happen? Probably not. But
she looked she just looked happy. That's what I took.
She
just looked full of life.
Even at the merch. So after the show, she had a little merch line with Kakeru. Kakeru had hinted that she had special double portraits with a certain someone who'd be at that show.
Huh.
And sure enough, those things sold out like insane. I did not get one because I would watch people in front of me in that line buy like 4 at a time for like $100.
Wow.
Basically.
Holy moly.
So there was a literal pile of money just like there on that table that Himeka had to like shove into an envelope at some point because she realized this pile of money is getting unruly.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, but like this is outdoors of Shinkiba,
yes.
And it was 35 plus degrees with humidity that day, and she was nothing but smiling and energetic all the way to the end of that line, and I was halfway in that line. It was a giant line. It was still going when I left, and taking 2 shots and helping Kakeru sign with little even Kakeru was running low on just single portraits because that line was just voracious. And I think Kakeru posted an apology. She's like, I should have printed more. I didn't realize it was going to get that crazy. And it was quite the thing. But she was happy to be there. I think, of course, just happy to be there. Seeing now, Micah was there. Other Micah, starter Micah, was also there apparently. I actually... In retrospect, I realized who she was because I noticed someone come in that wearing a very big hat, which is always a thing. And then I was like, okay, well, this must be someone because she went backstage and then it turned out to be Micah from Start. Happy to see her old friend. But who knows? Maybe another crossover in the making.
Maybe.
This year, I wouldn't put anything past anything at this point.
About the chaos of everything.
All bets are off for this year.
All bets are off.
Everybody's trying new things.
We got Actwres time in Marigold. Anything can freaking happen right now.
This isn't. Yeah, we have to say that. That says it all.
Yep. And then
we had a Tokyo Joshi show where Kanye West of all people showed up.
That's actually true.
That was
this is the world we live in, folks. The Yee showed up to a friggin' Tokyo Joshi appearance. I'm gonna say Tokyo Joshi appearance that coincided with Kanye being there.
It was a fashion thing, and it's just
it was a fashion thing. But they used the ring. Come on.
Yeah. It's just this year's getting like it's not even
weird. Everything's weird.
I think like we talked before, like the Japan in general seems to be kind of rebuilding phase with its wrestling, and everybody's trying new things and maybe alliances that you wouldn't see a year ago or even 3 months ago. You're gonna be seeing now.
Yep.
I look forward to the next Reina show is just going to be Konami and Makoto coming out like nothing happened. And acting like it is Reina from 2018.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, Konami might just show up wherever she wants at this point. But yeah, I mean,
looking at her contract right now, I assume that she is currently on. Again, these new Stardom contracts seem to be very much like a little more loosey goosey on what you can do with them.
Well, I think the Okada, the President Okada, I think he wants to be like the nice, cool guy who doesn't have like ruffle any feathers and wants to maybe be seen as like a really open person. I don't know if that's how it's going to last, but I think that's what the thought process is right now. Yes.
I think definitely he's basically doing the thing where the last guy was a little much for some people, and now he's trying to be the opposite of the last guy, which might be why he was hired for this position.
He's the cool teacher. The cool teacher that lets kids chew gum and wear hats in class.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he also has to watch out for his roster, so it's understandable if this is just a temporary thing, but it's cool. It's cool what's coming out of it. It was very nice to have allow the talent that was on that show to be there. But that's more the top of the card, because what was after the wonderful victory by Himeka one more time.
Yep.
Going out on top.
Now Kakuta Battle Royale.
Oh boy, and that maybe in my heart that was one of that could easily be the best match of the whole show.
Yuki Arai. What was the order here? This is it, match of the year for me. Yuki Arai.
It was Arai now. Well, again, the wonderful thing, and the fans, we all just kept screaming for now every time someone came out.
Yep. I love the atmosphere, the crowd atmosphere, and all that. It came through on Wrestle Universe.
Yes, 100%. That was some great. Those entrances were just getting greater with every.
I wanted Now to come out in her Actwres Girls costume just for the.
I was hoping it went. I was hoping the history, look back would include her Actwres run, but I guess, we should just be happy. There
was enough of it already there.
Yeah.
Did they have to go explicit with it? No. We all the show itself was a tribute to all of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that the Now Battle Royale was as you advertised. It was wacky. It was insane. It was 5 people who clearly love Now Kakuta.
Yeah.
Paying tribute to her. Quickly, favorite nows. I think it's probably. I think it was always going to be, but it was definitely Palm Now.
I was surprised at how well it's like. She could maybe do this for Now. I know she has her own gimmick, but it was like she was really good at that gimmick.
I don't know. Yuki Arai I was like, well, okay, this is match of the year. Just her just coming out. It's like, all right, we're for something special here. Endo looked good in that gear too. So I think everyone just really was fitting.
Yeah, everyone put
the chaotic free Wi-Fi was very good.
Yeah. Mizuki was fantastic. Arisa Endo suppressing her need to color her hair 5 different colors, so at least kind of goes with the gear.
Yep.
Suzumi letting her hair down, like just an amazing combination of things happened.
Yep. just a fun match and just a great
A fun match. It ended exactly how you'd want it to.
Yep.
I've talked about this on another podcast, but when I was in Philly, I did the Philly Mania show for TJPW, and I was flipping through my program to get Endo and Suzume to sign it. I went past the Now page and like, no, and they were all like, really, because Now had to miss the show due to illness. They drew hearts around her, and they were all like, very so. And then they made me salute with them for Now when we took the 2 shots. So, yeah, a lot of love there for Now in that promotion. Just really, and like it showed in that match too. With just even just the 2 of them, and then the rest, the other 3, just really, they love Now there.
Oh, I think she'll be missed for sure. I mean, like she's the presence, a veteran presence that I think they all kind of leaned on maybe at times.
Yeah, because she kind of came in after Yuna left, because Yuna kind of was that veteran.
Yes.
Yeah.
Outside presence, which is hilarious because another actress girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which also tells me, guess what? You guys need another former actress girl, and Kakeru is a wonderful addition to any roster. And as sad as I would be to not be able to see Kakeru as often on the indies.
Yeah.
Mr. TJPW would be a fantastic addition to your roster. Tetsuya Koda, listen to me. Emotionless husk.
Calling out all these people on the podcast.
Yeah,
Tag them to listen.
Goo over there. Look at that.
But also would be great. Maika Ozaki. Again, that would be really tragic for PR66 to lose one of their triple belts champions with such a life.
Yeah, and she was great on this show too. With
she was fantastic. Because the semi-main, a match between 2 people who have met as actors, I believe, but not necessarily as pro wrestlers.
I believe so. I know that Ozaki and Endo worked on stuff together too, so there is connections there as well. So there is like all this orbit of like actors and actresses and wrestlers and wrestling. There's just a lot.
Maybe
of
not the
connections
same
here.
play, but definitely I believe in the same. Some of the same theater troops. They orbited each other, so they knew each other. So a bit of a dream match for them. I think Himawari looked great. Like a very good step up match, like to prove that. She could go with someone who is as experienced and as just raw power as Maika Ozaki.
Yeah.
And it was a really fun match.
Thing is like that unassuming power that she's got with everything she does. So it's a perfect combination.
I mean, getting back to someone who really wanted to pro wrestle very early on. Again, another actress product that she said, I want to pro wrestle. I'm like, all right, that's fair.
Did a couple of matches and use it as a demo tape to send to Coda.
Yeah, she did that. She did that my summer vacation with Actwres. She did that like idol concert thing, and
my opinion on that is, she obviously she wanted Tokujoshi. I think I'm wondering if she'd applied before. There was no space, and then all of a sudden space popped up, and she's like, "Well, I might as well go."
She was a perfect fit though. Like that first Korakuen show, she showed up.
Oh, amazing!
She did that log roll. She did the log roll. Like, okay, this is her home.
Yep.
Yeah. And she's like a deceptive power fighter too. Like especially for that roster, I think she can go and be just chucking people around for years to come.
Yep. Yeah, she's a great fit there, and like just thinking about like when she was an actress and just stopped appearing, I'm like, I think I know what's happening here. Like TJPW has just been such a great fit for her, and the fans really took to her immediately. Both international and whatnot. So really get to see that for her. And she's going to England, or I think she's doing an appearance over there.
Yeah, and also she posted on social media. She did some kind of TV show where she wrestled another AKB performer or something.
So that
and hilariously, that talent must be pretty short, because I was watching the match. I'm like, man, Himawari looks big compared to her.
Is she?
What is this? Is this woman like 4'3" or something? Like, what is this happening?
Yeah. She's also working with Yui in that stage play, so she's
They
crossing
are, that's
over with
right.
another actress girl.
Yep.
Yeah, three. I believe it's called Three Primary Colors.
Yes.
Be a stage
Yeah,
play that they're doing together. I might look again after enjoying the to produce show, which included Actress Girl's Talent, Act Yasukawa, and former Actress Girl Miyuki Takase. I am very interested in catching more theater shows in Japan. Having seen one now, and involving wrestlers, I would like to see more in the future. And also just involving Maru's production company, which seems to be a very tight ship.
Yeah,
I have. It's still available. I have an article from a couple months ago where I did 5 plays in a 4-week period, and Yui's Three Primary Colors was one of them. They're a cool company.
It definitely looks like something that I would like to check out at some point in the future. So on the list for sure.
Yeah, I'd love to go to some of them next time I'm in Japan.
I did as many theater shows as I did Joshi shows when I was in Japan in February and March.
I'm jealous you went to the one with Haruku Mizake. That sounds like a fun little.
Yes,
show.
yes, that was cool. I mean, they all were cool in their own way, but I mean, I did it in 2023. I did some as well. I've almost done as many Joshi theater shows as I have Joshi wrestling shows at this point, like double digits at this point.
Get in there and enjoy the action of the stage.
Yep.
Yeah,
and wrestling.
Yeah, it's the common thread through this whole show actually with Kakuta's people and all that people at Kakuta's close.
I saw Kakuta as well while I was there.
Yeah,
I saw stage play as well. She was very good.
Yep. Now let's go on to this main event, which
the main event, which is the end was the beginning.
Yep.
Oh yes.
Now Kakuta and Tai Honma versus Saoriano and Natsupoi. Special guest ring announcer Aina Aiba. That was
mega celebrity Aina Aiba.
Mega celebrity Aina Aiba, voice actress for Roselia, all this big things, superstar, but she's always gonna be Yuki Harima to me. And she came out and was like, "I am Yuki Harima," and I was like, "Yeah, let's go!" I slammed my desk because I was so hyped just thinking about it. But
reliving the Turtles Mars feud all over again.
Yeah, it was just really cool to just see her back there with those people, with the Actwres Girls, the original crew. So all 5 of them were on that first show, and Ozaki in the previous match also on that first show. So just as a Actwres fan for years and diving deeper into their history, it was just awesome to see that, and just like the nostalgia there and the sentimental value of this match alone catapults it up there for me. And the match actually was really, really damn good.
Oh my god, they went all in. It was not phoning it in at all, with the heat or just because it was a fun crossover show. It was we're gonna have a match that people are gonna be talking.
They went for it to kind of remind everyone, hey, we are some of the best, literally in this ring right now, are some of the best pro wrestlers going. So
yep,
here we go.
And it's just such an unlikely match because Natsupoi being there with all the three there too, and I know being there, being Stardom, and it's amazing what now Kakuta was able to just do just by being now Kakuta, bringing these everything
being one of the greatest people to ever live.
She could broker world peace if she wanted to. I think.
Absolutely.
You know what? I am not.
Happened, yeah.
She's retiring from pro wrestling. She's retiring from acting. I think it's clear. It's just time for her political run.
We don't need the UN anymore. We just need Kakuta to go. I need everyone to sit down with me, and we're gonna fix this.
Yeah, we're gonna fix it, brothers. I mean, it can't get any, to be honest, it can't get any more absurd than Japanese politics is right now. So
American politics ain't much.
Not just I just say America's pretty clown showy too. Yeah.
You know what though? Your clown show is it. It's like scary. Like it's a scary clown show. It's still kind of funny out here.
Yeah, because our clown show, people can die when clowns make terrible decisions. I hate that. Yeah.
Out here, it's just like, oh God, why did this happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So we need Kakuta 2024, 2025, whatever. Let's go. Next election cycle.
I will vote. I mean, I can't. I'm not allowed to because I'm not a citizen.
She could do it. She could fix.
If she can get Natsupoi on a TJPW show, you can do anything. But yeah.
Oh boy.
Again,
you know, she left TJPW. I always say that with Natsupoi, even less than her exit from, Actress Girls, which was, had some issues, but honestly, I don't blame her for that. Her exit from Tokyo Joshi was, her contract was done. It was done. She'd met her obligations. She got a better offer. I never had an issue with her leaving for Stardom. I think some people were angry that she left before she finished some stories, but whatever. It's such is life. That happens in pro wrestling.
Yeah,
but it was wonderful to see her back.
Definitely, and just to see the four in the ring again together, all four of them.
Yeah, and again, for even the deeper history of they were what created this whole thing that is, Actress Girls.
Yeah,
they were
the debuting, card essentially.
The only thing I would have liked more is if they could have got Yuna. I think Yuna was busy.
Yeah, Yuna did a match with Kakuta on her retirement road, but it was not. It was was a couple weeks ago, I think. Now, actually,
yeah, and I'm sure she'll be there maybe at the last show. We'll see, or at least try to show up. I know Yuna's busy. She's always busy, so I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah, she was the only one who really I felt like I was missing from this. Could have got Black Shine. That would have been fun.
That would have been. That would have been if Kakuta came out to her old music, or somebody in the Battle Royal came out to her old K-pop music. That would have been great. But if we could have got Black Shine too, that would have been unreal. Probably that's like a pipe dream. But
it's like watching. I was like, I wish that somebody brought out the old music, and Ty's been using the same thing since Act 4, Act 5. But just it would have been cool to just have someone really throw it back to the Actwres time. But also, seeing where they, kind of, you can go back and see that, and then you can go and see where they are now, and it's a big celebration of where, how far they've gotten, even though kind of together and then apart after a while. It's just
their past,
it's just a big kind of all right, the past was in the match. But a lot of the presentation was look at where we've come from May 31st, 2015, where we've gotten since then. So it make as much as I wanted to hear Bo Peep or Natsupoi drop her baton in the front row to Dragon.
Did she drop her headpiece though coming out? Didn't it kind of fall off?
I didn't know.
Made her entrance?
Okay, so
I wish she
did have a throwback.
I wish she spun the baton at Namba by mistake or something, flipped it all the way
and
over.
It hit
it hit Namba, and then that would be
the Yuna thing. I was thinking that I went back and watched their Wrestle 1 match they had in 2016, her and Kakuta, because Yuna even mentioned that was the last time they had a singles match. It was a Wrestle 1 show in 2016, and it was so interesting. You're speaking about people's lives coming back together, was where their lives were. It was like a month away from, I think, Act 5 happening. So it was Tai Honma was there as a second, and so was Osaki. And it's just where Yuna and Osaki were going to be, and Honma was going to have an injury that put her out for a year. And it was like within a month, Kakuta was going to be the only one that was like full time doing stuff with Actwres Girls, which I thought was just like, it just shows like how quickly life can change, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Again, we are about to see Actwres Girls in Ryogoku. So I don't know what the fuck's anything's happening.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, definitely. Like when you think about that match, like only a couple weeks later, Ozaki was retired technically, or graduated from Actwres, and yeah, you had even like Aiba was gone from there, Harima, and then they showed up there for the main event of the last show of the first season.
Oh, yeah.
So in a big moment of like just emotion, and it was very, very like just again to see most of those people again last night, or we're doing this the day after after Cross, was just such a special thing. And like I do wish Yuna was there, because it would have just even made it even more of a full circle moment. But when they all left the ring together and everyone kind of went, off to the side, back to the merch stand or whatever, what they do after Shinkiba, but you had the five in the main event, including Aiba and Harima, walk out together. Just that whole visual of them again, like it just warms an Actwres Girls fan's heart.
Oh, it was great, and it was like a band reuniting, one last time. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, it felt like
this felt like we traveled back in time 4 years. This would be a main event for like a beginning show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Having all these four together.
Act 6 was like the end of the era, the finale,
the season finale. Yeah,
this felt like what if if there was one more, the farewell, one more,
They
had
9 years the prologue. Later. This is the epilogue. Straight up, This is just like
this is the epilogue of that first season.
They did their Beatles rooftop concert, or maybe the B Sharps rooftop concert.
Yes, even better.
That was maybe more B Sharps rooftop concert with George Harrison watching on, saying it's been done.
Yeah, no, it's just a good
wonderful show.
Of that. Yep.
Yeah. And again, everyone was just like, I was just surprised how hard they went. Number one in the heat. Number two, because this is like supposed to be a fun show, and like the risk of getting injured on a fun show. Going back to Actwres Girls, I believe one of the reasons Sakaguchi stated years ago when he closed off Actwres Girls a few years ago was his talent kept getting hurt on other people's shows, and it was kind of like, oh boy. So closing things off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to say he stated in a tweet as well, or maybe a blog entry or something when he was still running one of those. You send your talent out, they get hurt, now you're down. And Actwres Girls was such a promotion early on that was very much filling other people's cards, filling up people's shows. It's great, but at the same time, you risk your talent every time you send them out there. So
yeah, the timing was right after Tai and Miyuki got hurt. So the announcement and stuff. So it makes sense, but yeah, I'm glad that everyone kind of worked as hard as they could, because it's almost the statement for Actwres Girls. Yeah, they work hard, and now being able to kind of bring everyone in and put it together. I mean, they can't. This is the last time they'll probably ever have the opportunity to share the ring with Now, and for them to do anything less than just give it their all would be, I don't know, wouldn't do their friend justice as they're heading towards retirement.
And it was cool that like where we're at with technology, I was able to watch it real time on my couch. Like, if you think back to where they were when they first started in 2015, I don't think the technology was really there yet, or at least not in my house. It wasn't.
No.
Yeah,
but
and like
again, imagine a live a live Actress Girls show from the Tokyo Art Center on Wrestle Universe. Imagine the majesty of that. I would pay upwards of 1,200 yen for that honor, whatever it is now.
Absolutely.
But yeah, 100%. If you haven't watched it, it's a show to catch.
Really quick show too. It's like it's not going to eat up your whole.
No, again, I timed it. It was from bell to even just them walking out. It was probably 90 minutes, if that.
Definitely worth watching if you are an Actwres fan or TJP, any kind of wrestling fan. If there's someone you'll know is on that show, someone you enjoyed watching is on that show, and you get to kind of see how special that era of Actwres was, and everyone, and even like the current TJPW crew is. It's just a great celebration of like what really makes a lot of wrestlers really special, especially now Kakuta, obviously.
I think it hammers home just how many great talents have come through that company of Actwres Girls. Like it's insane, really. I mean, you see it if you go to Rich's site and you just look at the alumni page, but it's a legacy.
Yeah. I mean, just going back in the history of that promotion and my memory of them of being like always seeing them everywhere and going like, man, where are these people coming from? I did not watch Actwres Girls as a promotion for a while. Like for my first 2 years as a wrestling fan, I was always aware of them, but I'd never gone to a show because I was like, I have no idea what this promotion is. But they keep sending talent to other shows, which is really cool. And then,
but I mean, I said it before. I went months watching Miku, thinking she was an ice ribbon wrestler, not knowing about Actwres Girls, like in 2018 or 19.
She was doing ice shows pretty regularly.
I was like, she's great. I'm like, this ice ribbon, and then I was like, I looked online. I'm like, oh, she's not ice ribbon. She's what's X? Yeah.
There were years where she actually wrestled more in ice ribbon than Actwres Girls. Yep. So it makes sense. Like you're not the first person to say that that I've heard.
There was always a thing where like you would see alliances form, and you'd see like there's a reason Tiny Momo went to Pure J after Actwres because she was just at Pure J so often already.
Yeah.
And like we're gonna one day we'll all get together again and dive into the early days and all that and the first few shows, and it's just even more. It's even way beyond just the people. There's like a whole just like you see it in TJPW especially and whatnot. And there's just a whole like just idea of what wrestling can be and should and stuff. It's just hard to describe if you don't know what happened in those early shows.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely dive into that at some point.
It was wild in it like. Yeah, I don't think I've seen another company quite like that first season of Actwres. Their season 1, as they call it. I don't think I've ever seen a company quite like that. Those seven main shows, and then their excursions out to other companies at the same time.
Yeah, and it's like I think about YMZ or Gato Move or something, and stuff like a little like stuff that's kind of on the outer edge of things, and things are able to get weird or do things a bit differently. They're just as innovative as that. They're probably one of the most innovative promotions that have come through Japan in the last 10, 15 years. And watching those early shows, now watching where we're at now, watching where the talent from those early shows are at now. I
always thought Yuna was pretty damn good, and then we started watching those early Actwres Girls shows, and I started to realize she built a lot of great stuff that I don't even think she's asking credit for, that she probably deserves more credit for.
No, I've talked to her. I'm like, you've trained quite a few wrestlers. Like, yeah, I have, and she's very casual about it. Like, she's like, I trained Paye, I trained Poi, I trained, almost all those first wrestlers.
Yep.
So I was like, and if not started the training, she definitely, I think, helped complete their training.
She's mentored so many people over the years too, where she just you can tell she takes them under her wing if she's not.
I mean, current Ice Ribbon champion Yuri, I think very much you can see her growth under Yuna, and I'm like, oh yeah, I see Yuna in there.
Yeah, I think, she probably. I think that I remember talking to Rich about it. Is like I think she's due for a, people to like find. It's unfortunate those shows are not available, on a streaming service. But I think people would probably come to that same conclusion. Like she's probably not getting the credit she deserves.
She's arguably one of
the. I always
the most important person in Joshi right now. Like when it comes to the impact she's had from, early on to Actwres to TJPW to Gambare, she has done so much. She is like
that dramatic storytelling.
Yeah.
I think, I've joked before because her influence on so many of the Stardom talent currently, like I've joked that she's like the grandmother of the Cosmic Angels. Not a grandma, a godmother. Like she's like, somebody who's just like oversees everything, but kind of is off to the side and not a godmother, not a grandmother. I misspoke earlier. Like she's just kind of like watching everybody and making, suggestions and helping shape lives. That's how I see it.
And even when talent wasn't even like had already retired by Act 6, they were still part of the main event of the show and made such a huge impact just by their appearance. And like the fact, like we'll definitely talk about this more at length when we go into the earlier shows, like in the later episode one day when we finally can do it. The fact that show had multiple cameras was the first show of that, and they were able to actually pan over to see Micah and Iva in the crowd together, and just like that moment of just like the turtles and Mars and stuff, and just Yuna knew what she was doing.
That was a big drama move that you could totally see someone in Stardom wanting to do in a match at some point,
Yeah.
Yeah, and to have it happen on that smaller scale and a smaller stage of just this kind of smaller promotion off that's just running like 7 shows, not sure what's going to happen next. Just like the dedication that Yuna has to making sure that like, things get presented how she intends. And it's something that really, throughout those first few shows, and you see through like TJPW run and Ganjo and stuff, it really just something that like she really deserves to be praised for.
Yeah. I just again, another person who I think has true vision of what she wants to see in a product. And I think she's instilled that in a lot of the performers that have come through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely feels like someone who built the modern style of Joshi, and probably it seems like she does not care if she gets credit. Like she's so humble about it, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't think she could easily be out there screaming constantly about that kind of stuff, but I don't think that's ever going to be her deal.
Nah. And
we will scream for her.
Absolutely. We always end up talking about Manase for a while on these things, don't we? Or at least praising her a little bit. She deserves it.
Yeah, she deserves it. God damn it!
I think because so many like threads can be led right back to her.
Yep.
And that's why like
she is the Kevin Bacon of pro wrestling.
We are talking about Yuna and her influence, and Kakuta also is such an important part of that system and carried a lot of that going forward. As we said, she was one of the only few like people who were still like a regular after that, because Tai got hurt. I know kind of focused a bit on Stardom and making appearances there, and then Kakuta then for a while was like a veteran presence in Actwres, and then eventually went to TJPW, and the energy she always like just injected in her matches, especially like when she was in the mid card tag matches stuff, free Wi-Fi, just really, really just I don't know.
I never saw her phone it in once in a match. I can say
like that fire, that ability, and then just the way that she just kind of defined that kind of mid card in TJPW for so long as a veteran presence.
She stepped up with Mizuki at that Korakuen show for that title shot, which is still one of my favorite matches of the last couple of years.
It's one of those like 100%. She always had the like she was going to grow into like something amazing, and she did, and that was kind of like, all right, she's kind of developed this reputation of being like this mid card, like fire starter, just coming in there doing her thing and whatnot, and then she proved it to everyone that she could hang with that Mizuki match, and then she finally got the belt, the tag belts. So with Hikari Noah, it's an incredible career that she's had, and like she has had a very similar influence as Manase. When you look back at it, where she's able to, like, even if she wasn't training people or wasn't that she or as creatively involved in Actwres, she was still someone who people looked up to, and as a veteran presence, especially in the TJPW days. And you see the battle royale, the people in the battle royale who all had that love for her. Just a lot of what we just talked about and praised Manase for, we also see in Kakuta, and it's just amazing.
I've wrote something today that will be for something down the road to be published, where I mentioned that she's proof that amount of titles do not mean anything to what your career can mean. You know, she had one title run, but her influence just by what she pulled off at this produce show is proof that you can do so much without like, you know, titles are cool and you can build a career off of that, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
She did so much as just being herself and shaping lives. Like you said, like Yuna following in the footsteps, you know.
And like for people like us, those are the people that we kind of gravitate towards. We're the nerds, we're the enthusiasts. We realize people like Kakuta and Manase, they have like that credibility to them that from, you know, early on, and we see the growth, we see their influence in the bigger picture, and kind of, you know, the titles are cool, championships are great. You know, if I know never won the white belt, would that have affected our fandom of her or what we appreciate of her doing?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's I like seeing people win championships, especially when they're people I've watched for a long time. But you know, there's a reason I've watched them for a long time and they haven't won a championship, and it doesn't matter because I've just been cheering for them because of, you know, they've just shown something beyond a championship or beyond like in-ring stuff or whatnot. So yeah, I think that like Manase and Kakuta and like Honma, definitely like they're like the people that we cheer for is like just enthusiasts and fans of the medium beyond
And with Kakuta's, you know, at the time when she was at Cork and challenging, she didn't win. I remember telling people, it's like, I grew up in the 80s where some of my favorite wrestlers, their whole career, their pinnacle was just getting a title shot, you know, against Hogan or Flair. And that was it. Like that was, and there was no shame in that. They're Hall of Famers now, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's an old school mentality that you can have a meaningful run and never hold a belt.
Yeah. I think. I mean, also it helps. It helps just the belts too. I love people winning titles, but if everyone's just winning them just to win them, at some point you're like, well, this is not. Yeah. There's no real point to this.
I feel like the whole people needing to have their turn as a champion is like, that's not the way this should work.
That was that's always, because that's what I grew up with. Where it's like, I never saw title changes. Like, you know, it was like Hogan and then Macho Man, and it was like, dude, that was it. You know, the Intercontinental title, but the heavyweight title was the title shot was your career. Like that was, I love that, where it was a sacred item that only a few people held.
Look, you know, great Asako may never win a title, but she doesn't need to win a title to be the greatest wrestler of all time because she's great Asako. It's fine.
It's great in her name.
It says in her name. Her prize is finding her papa, who, you know, maybe we'll find out on Wrestle Universe one day who her papa is. Now that we have both Asako daughters available on Wrestle Universe for the award-winning price of 1,300 yen.
Is this podcast secretly sponsored by Wrestle Universe by chance? I didn't.
We
find
should
out.
be.
We're just kissing his ass, so he puts Actwres on there, and we get the old.
We get
Acts 7 through.
I cannot remember the name of the new Cyber Fight president, but whoever you are, sir, know that I am here and screaming at you like I was 2 years ago, screaming at Shachiro Takagi to save Actwres Girls. I am here again to do the same. So you not save Actwres Girls, but put them on your streaming service because it's the right thing to do.
I agree. Or just
I think it's
Sakaguchi to put stuff up on YouTube or
put on YouTube, yeah.
Or pay like the extra like $5 a month to go to like a terabyte on nets.
Or whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah. With that, our sponsor now we're 2.5 hours into this, and I think we've covered pretty much future, present, past of Actwres, and it's 4 a.m. here in Philadelphia, so
crap.
definitely. But I did take a nap until I woke up at like 10 o'clock, so that's good.
It's you and Naru just burning the midnight oil.
Me and Naru just do not sleep.
Naru, 5 a.m. Good night, everyone. I'm like, what?
Thank you guys for joining me. Chris, you got anything you want to promote? Anything you want to
you know what? Maybe it's time for me to restart my stupid A4 podcast. So keep an eye out for that dumb Twitter account. The A4 Podcast Castle will come back. I think it's time to talk about things like, I don't know, the return of Reina. That's what I'll do. Reina's back.
That's another. This year's crazy. Reina's back. 2024 is unhinged.
It's things are things are getting real when Reina's back because you're like, what? Why? Okay, sure, let's do this. But it's I'm gonna try to do that. I'll do that. I'll do a short podcast talking about Reina being back and what's going on in the weird world of Joshi Pro Wrestling that's not maybe as easily accessible, and then. Go to shows. Next weekend's a big one. I'm going to try to catch. I may catch Actress Time. I'm definitely catching the 7/14 Actress Girls show, the Ice Ribbon show before that. And maybe I will go live to watch the Sendai Girls show to see if Miki Owada can get an actual defense under her belt. Or maybe I'll just watch on the award-winning Wrestle Universe, which is unbeatable value at about $10 American. Can't believe it! What a deal, guys!
I think if you're a new subscriber, you get a 7-day free trial.
What?
I'm not sure. I don't. That
oh
used to be a thing. That might not be the thing anymore.
I think it is a thing. I think you literally just quoted a tweet that I just saw.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but yes, that's what's upcoming.
Wrestle Universe
we gotta
money
get that.
now.
Where the hell is that?
Yeah, they get us on Wrestle Universe.
Yeah, but yes, the Wrestle Universe give us a podcast money.
Yes.
Also, get Actress Girls on nets, off nets, and on your service. Yes, there we go.
Get Actress Boys on your service.
Actress Boys and the award-winning Wrestle Universe podcast network. Us and us only. No other actress podcasts out there.
No other one. Sorry, Actress Stage.
Dang, it's getting ugly.
That's getting violent. Well, hey, you know what? There's money on the line. There's money on the line now.
Wrestle Universe sponsorship.
Yeah. There's potential Wrestle Universe sponsorship that we made up. It's not a thing that really exists.
Can't believe I praised them on the first episode, talking about how they influenced me to talk me into doing this and that.
Yeah.
Now we're fighting over non-existent Wrestle Universe money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the Wrestle Universe, are they gonna just comp us their subscription, or are they gonna send checks in the mail? I need to figure this out. 3 free
subscriptions just for us. Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. Okay.
I'm cheap.
And with
all right.
Sponsorship read out of the way, Jeff, you got anything you want to promote or talk about on
Just doing my writing. I don't know. I have. Well, I don't want to say what yet because we haven't announced, but I have a piece that may be related to the Cross show that I think people are going to really dig.
Cool.
But stay tuned on that. It may be Kakuta related. We don't know.
You have my attention, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, something cool, special happened. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Later next week, I think, is when it'll be published.
Nice. Keep an eye out for it and all that. Follow Jeff on Twitter, I guess.
I use Twitter, kinda, sorta. I got a smartphone for the first time in like 2022, so I'm barely connected to the world. So
you should move to Japan because there are still flip phones out here at the wazoo.
I'm thinking about just going to a flip phone. I can't. The screens and the notifications.
I'm a hipster. Give me one of those dumb e-paper phones that look terrible.
Oh yeah.
That have even less functionality than a flip phone and just don't work. That's what I want.
Perfect. Nobody can reach me. That's the great goal of life. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for hosting.
That's been great, and just great to get back into it. And hopefully, the next show will be. I guess the next show will be like post Korakuen. We'll do something. I know we usually do something leading into it, but leading into Korakuen, I am planning to be at Korakuen, and I have a lot of stuff packed into a schedule in Japan. So I definitely don't know if I'll have time to actually record anything ahead of it, and it's only a couple weeks, a few weeks away. So definitely probably something afterwards, and then definitely want to dive into like the past a bit more in the future with another episode or two, or just a lot of cool things that you're just not going to get unless you actually go back and watch everything kind of like as it happened. So I want to make that as easy as possible for people going on, either through podcast or through a video or something. Like I did that Marigold video of the 6 Actwres girls who left, and just to get people to see why are the Actwres girls fans like excited to see these people in a new environment. And I think
you did a great job with that video, and being such a hardcore Actwres fan, I think you could have easily been someone who was just mad and didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
but you went all in, and you did way more. I think there may be some people inside Marigold that should probably watch those videos so they understand what the talent are coming, what they have, their history.
Yeah.
Could maybe benefit from watching your videos.
Yeah. There's something that Stu Fulton keeps saying every time, and I just don't know where he got it from, but there are times where it's like
somebody's history. Yeah. Great. I love it. Like, I love this alternate history that I think I missed somehow.
Yeah, I just want people to be informed about like facts and stuff and know and see why I think it's really, really cool that Misa Matsui is going to be on like big stages doing cool things with Natsumi Shozuki.
Maybe we'll do a podcast out here too. When you're out here, if we got some time, we'll sit down and do a
possible. My schedule's insane. My schedule is crazy, but
yeah,
I'd like
also my schedule's pretty bad then too. For not for good reasons, for actual bad reasons.
Oh. But hopefully we could buy some time, even if it's just a quick little thing, even a live, like, we were just at Korakuen and it was cool, that kind of a thing. So definitely something we could look at doing over there. Maybe some cool content from over there. Definitely going to try to bring my camera, do some cool photos, throw up on the website awg.wrestlinggood.com. But now it's just wrestlinggood.com. Whatever. But yeah, it's been just great talking to you guys as always, and thanks again for listening, and as always, praise Mari.
Praise Mari.